I have more unfortunate news in two fronts. One, that the person is ill, and the second point, the function that the person was carrying out, and what it's going to mean that the person is ill and potentially maybe dying. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Now, she has been diagnosed once again with cancer, and as we know, she's I think like 80 something years old, 86 I believe, and so she's already up in age. She had cancer once before, and now the cancer is apparently, or some aspect or some kind of cancer is back. Um, she is on the Supreme Court, and she's on the Supreme Court that has already taken a rightward shift. And for her to pass and for Trump to be able to put anybody in that spot would be a dramatic rightward shift of the court. Whether the public realizes it or not, your Supreme Court is also a political instrument. There's a reason that presidents fight to put their person on the court, because the court is not this kind of passive entity that calls balls and strikes. It interprets, and in its interpretations, it sets law almost. Now, whether it was supposed to be like that in the origins of it is almost irrelevant. That's basically how it does. It interprets the law in a particular way, and the interpretation basically gives the guardrails into the way that the law is dealt with in our society. But I'm just making the very basic point. It would take a dramatic rightward shift if Ruth passed. And so, bad news on two fronts. Like I said in the beginning. One, a person has to deal with cancer. And two, the person is on the Supreme Court, basically a last line of defense of this court taking a dramatic rightward shift. Welcome to the Soapbox. My name is Jamarl Thomas. This is the Progressive Soapbox. Guys, if you dig this content, please like, share, and subscribe. You can always support this content through PayPal or Patreon. So I'm just going to read this. This is short. And I want to say something about potential action against the court. Because if you're going to ever take any kind of political power, you're going to have to deal with the court, especially if it's a conservative court. And these guys are going to be on there for basically their entire lives. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, 87, I was wrong, I'm sorry, 87, has had a reoccurrence of cancer, she announced on Friday. I have often said I will remain a member of the court as long as I can do the job full steam, she said in a statement issued by the Supreme Court. I remain fully able to do that. She said that she had begun chemotherapy, a course of chemotherapy on Monday 19th after a periodic scan in February, followed by a biopsy revealed lesions on my liver. Immunotherapy first essayed proved unsuccessful, she said. The chemotherapy course, however, is yielding positive results. Satisfied that my treatment course is now clear, I'm providing this information. Now, Ginsburg, Justice Ginsburg, has had surgery for lung cancer and radiation and treatment for the pancreatic cancer in recent years. She has also had surgery for early-stage pancreatic cancer in 2009 and treatment for colon cancer in 1999. Jesus Christ. On Friday, she said July 7th scan showed that the liver lesion had been significantly reduced. I am tolerating the chemotherapy well and emerged from the success of the current treatment, the statement said. I will continue biweekly chemotherapy to keep my cancer at bay and be able to maintain an active daily routine, she said. Throughout, I have kept up with my opinion writing and all other court work. Now, but you know what this means. This means that there are a lot of people who are out there who are begging, praying to whatever God they can pray to that this woman doesn't die. Because every so often you get a verdict that goes your way, but only because you've had an alignment of people who agreed with a particular point that went beyond, I suppose, the right-wing perspective of this stuff. But that stuff goes away with the Ginsburg that goes out, that gets out of office. So, look, one thing that you can do is there's nothing stopping you from changing the Supreme Court through law. Meaning the Supreme Court can't stop your law from changing, either rotating out the Supreme Court justices, meaning they don't stay there forever, or putting some kind of constraints on their term. However, that's done. I know FDR got caught with packing the court, but maybe they do have too much power being there forever. Maybe rotating them out wouldn't necessarily be a bad outcome if indeed you were trying to get something accomplished and they were standing in your way. But nevertheless, Betty Ginsburg is ill again. She's tolerating it well, the chemotherapy, but she is once again sick. Like, share, and of course, subscribe.